Hey, Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as the Mayan Empire, where things are going actually exceptionally well. We do have a couple of new cities that need a little bit of builder work, but I think we can make that happen thanks to Copan and Wakcabna. We also decided to take conquering Samarkand off the table, and we've decided instead that maybe Caguana is a better target because it has a really nice observatory over here, and it just occupies like the only stretch of like reasonable land inside my territory. We've got maxed out amenities. All of my cities are ecstatic, getting a 20% boost on top of the 10% boost that these cities get for being close to my capital. Now, to be fair, a bunch of my cities don't get that boost. And so what's our particular goal for this episode? I think our goal is to continue to navigate the tech tree in a really efficient manner. And we would really like to get to research labs roughly by the end of this video. We probably need to double our science per turn and generally just keep playing efficiently on a turn-by-turn basis. Finding exploration, circumnavigating the world, killing off barbs, looking for air escort. There's also a potential over here if we would like to expand to this island. I mean, if we just look around, there's a bunch of spare luxuries. If we go to the resource lens, you can see here all those purple tiles, those are luxuries. The red tiles are strategics. And there's even a few plantations knocking around over here. So I think it could be worth it to do a late game settler push to the east in Chinguetti. We could even kill Chinguetti and take them over because they're reasonably well positioned to join my empire. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that we could potentially do this episode. And I think, like I said, we're going to play it turn by turn and see where the world takes us. So there's humanism giving us access to a few things. Mostly it gets us access to mercantilism. We got the shipyard in Palenque, giving all of these coastal tiles incredible value. Now, we do have a focus on production, but this city has a little bit of growth potential, so I'm going to take that focus off and instead let it just kind of focus on the high-quality tiles that are around. I don't know if you need this rice farm anymore. I could give that back to the capital, and that's a really productive tile. Similarly, Koba probably still does need to take that tile. This city could definitely make use of a builder. There's a whole bunch of tiles in here that could use a improvement, like we could chop here, put a mine here, put a mine here. Yeah, there's mostly mining. We could also steal this science tile. I don't know, it seems kind of okay. My capital is getting a little bit choked if I do that. My capital is already pretty choked. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Let's grab our university. That's 6 science per turn. We'll keep pushing northward on the science front. And we finally met Citia, who seems to be top science this game. So she's the one with 37 text research. She's got 3 more text than me and about 4 or 5 more science. Let's go ahead and establish a resident embassy, because the first turn that you meet an AI, if you're playing on standard game speed, you can usually make friends with them. And yeah, she's got a really large empire compared to mine. The fact that I'm holding pace with her scientifically with such a small empire is kind of cool, actually. We found Cardiff, which was not the city-state that we were looking for. I'm no longer suzerain of Mitla. It's not the most important thing ever. There's new trade deals available. Yeah, I will make sure to be buying luxuries and oh, these are all extra luxuries. I guess I just sell off all those. Tons of cash coming in. We've got 1,000 cash in the bank. And I think the correct use of this money is on builders so that I can use my production on non-builder military units. So we're gonna need, like, we have our melee unit, right? We have this man-at-arms over here. Let's wake this knight up and send him over to this island. Maybe he can do some work over there for us. We'll put you in charge of garrisoning that city. We definitely need to get rid of professional army. I can't believe I forgot to get rid of that card. Hold on. View policies. Change. Get rid of you. Plug in retainers. Oh, retainers is already gone? No, sorry. I have retainers plugged in. The card I was looking for was Republican Legacy, of course. I'm going to keep those amenities super high. Have a little bit of a buffer. Whoa, that's a lot of BS right there. Let's dip out of that and I'll bring another boat down to potentially help. So builder finished in the capital. Let's send him just generally off in this direction. Let's get ourselves another man-at-arms. That'll be 20 niter. Well, 30 niter in total. So I think we could probably, with 2 niter inside our borders, we could probably get away with a man-at-arms plus 3 bombards to take the city of Caguana cleanly and then push towards Chinguetti. A builder completed in Copan We could continue to produce builders. I guess I'll buy another builder. Now, we could go for things like the Forbidden City, the University of St. Cor. We could go for more settlers. Do I want to plug a settler card in? Not right now. I think it doesn't really fit with our plans to do that just at this moment in time. We could go for Theatre Square. I think I would rather get my commercial hub up. I want that gold income. And I want those extra trade routes. They're really, really, really useful. I'll take +1 movement on my caravels. Their job is exploration. So that's what I'm going to focus them on. Let's have a look here. I would like units to be more expensive to produce, although the AI almost always votes for them to be cheaper. And I'll vote twice to get melee units upgraded. That is the 3rd time that the unit power card has appeared. So cheaper by production, stronger melee units. That's usually what the AI votes for. So we're up to now a healthy 5 diplomatic victory points, which is really nice. It's always good to have backup victory conditions. A little farm right there. That's a really high quality set of farms. We could put a mine down. I think a mine here seems good. A little bit of caravel exploration. Oh, we found Fez. Now, Fez is a huge find. So this is another scientific city-state that we can start to scale off. Now, it would have been nice to potentially get the kill with this game, but I don't think we could have gone for it. We just weren't in a position to. But that 15% science would have been great. Somebody else can have it. It's okay. But building a relationship with Fez will really help our science per turn. Build a little mine right there. You're heading north, as are you. You will head north soon. You're heading to the east. May as well get this. Well, I'd like to get the niter online. Every turn that I'm not producing niter is a downside for me. Niter is up. Perfect. There's rifling. We definitely need to buy these tiles, so I may as well do that now because there's a bunch of farming-based stuff that we're going to be doing once we hit civil engineering, which is honestly not that far away. And similarly, these builders can head up to El Mirador to start building these lumber mill. So I'm willing to spend quite a bit of cash on that. Quite a bit of cash to improve the quality of those cities. We're getting a few kills. Matt, this world has not been explored at all. I think it could be good to get us some sort of exploration expedition. Maybe a bunch of scouts moving together. I just need to be careful about the amount of cities that I settle. They need to all be really high quality cities. Library completed in Calak Mul. I do want the shipyard, but 6 science on a university is hard to deny, and this city doesn't have that many fishing boats to benefit from. I mean, potentially there's 2 fishing boats we could benefit from in here. And we're not really working much coastal region, so I don't think shipyards are super good here. I think we will go for the uni. We should think about what our next district is in here, but we'll go for university. Science is king when you're in this kind of victory. There's the second copy of Niter, giving us +1 era score because this tile was developed by a natural disaster. So that should put us up to where we're making 4 Niter per turn, so we'll be able to very soon turn these guys into a combination of musketmen and bombards, which is fantastic. And that should be enough to take Caguana and potentially even Chinguetti if we decide to go that route. And we probably should go that route. We found Valletta, a very nice city-state. Actually, I think in an 8-player game, I think there's 12 city-states, so there's still quite a few city-states for us to discover. Valletta is a great one. I'm pretty sure Valletta is the one that lets you buy city center buildings with faith, so it's a pretty darn good one. Let's clear this out and clear this out. Perfect combination. We've got a trebuchet coming to the north. I'm going to build 1 more military unit. It's going to be a skirmisher just to guard this city. Commercial hub has been completed in Copan. Let's get the trader for the trade route. Keep the gold income flying high. Oh, lovely. We discovered coal immediately. So we found coal here, and we also found coal here. Well, that's going to be a little bit of a retool of that tile then. Let's get the pastors online. I think that would be a good boost for Quirgua. I definitely want a trader over in Zunatunic. Boom, pasture online, 3 food, 3 production. Fantastic tiles. Any tile that provides 2 food, 2 production or higher is a good tile in my opinion. Good tile in my opinion. I think I'm tired of manual exploring with my caravels, so I'm just going to put them on auto explore, and then I'm going to make sure that I get open borders with everyone. Well, I might wait until my next diplomacy turn before I do that. Let's go ahead and gain sources in here. Might be able to do something useful in Tbilisi. If not, diplomatic visibility isn't one of the most... It's like one of the more... Oh, I shouldn't have sold my niter. I need to be careful about that. The AI will try to buy my niter. Okay, skirmisher complete in the capital. We'll fortify that in the capital. We should totally look to purchase some great works of writing from the AI for upfront gold. So it's 1, 2, and that will cover... basically like getting 2 extra monuments in the capital, and then don't forget that they get multiplied by 15%. Actually, it's more like 35%. So quite a bit of extra culture there. bringing us up to a healthy 40 culture in the capital, which is almost half the culture of my empire. I think then it might be good to go for the archaeological museum, but if we're not going to theme the archaeological museum, I don't think it's worth it. It might be better to get the art museum and just buy the things sooner. So I think we'll go art museum because it's just, we could just buy artwork to fill that, generate extra resources in the capital. Quirigga, now that we got some bill charges over here, the city's looking fantastic, right? 4 food surplus. It has a little bit of a housing issue, but we have not recruited a Mani yet. And in fact, I think that might be the thing that stops me from expanding anymore. Where are you going? Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to stick with this empire. We could develop a larger empire. I think I'll just take Caguana and leave it at that. I don't know if we really need to push any higher. We'll build that harbour. That'll be a really nice adjacency harbour. We'll overflow into a lighthouse. Can I gold purchase a builder? No, they're a little bit too expensive, but I do want to be gold purchasing them because my production is tied up. All right, I want you. There's metal casting for bombards. Get adjacent to this guy to give him combat strength bonuses. Take helmsman on yourself. We got the market in Copan. We could go for the bank. That's 9 gold per turn. We've got positive 10 amenities in this city. What could we go for that would help my victory right now? A theater square wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It would give me that little bit of extra culture to keep boosting through this tech tree. I could also get an industrial zone. There are some pretty damn good industrial zones over here. That's a +4, which could theoretically lead to a Leonardo da Vinci move. So I like the idea of that, going for Leonardo to get culture and production. So let's do it. Let's gold. I think I'm going to save my gold now to purchase like workshop, factory, coal power plant in Palenque. All right, nice. We got the lighthouse in here. We'll work on that. You need to put a lumber mill down for the city. We also need to get this fishing tile online. I need to save all of my cash for the industrialization plan that we have. Pop a farm right there. Make sure you work that farm. Georgia wants to establish an embassy. You're more than welcome, Georgia. My alliances run out in 14 turns. There's mercantilism. We can build lumber mills on rainforest, and this was literally timed perfectly for these guys to arrive at the city. So farm down, then a lumber mill down. Finally, this city started to get some yields. Literally just doubled the city's production by building that lumber mill, by the way. That's how trash this city's production was. It really needs that internal trade route. I don't even know where I'm going to build that internal trade route. Let's purchase the workshop. I guess I can build it here while I'm saving up cash for the industrial zone buildings. Really need to see if we can get Leonardo. I definitely need another builder over here too, which is making life complicated because I need my gold to buy my industrial zone buildings. Again, this is kind of what I call a crunch. It's when you don't have enough resources to do everything you want, which is honestly the place that you want to be when you're playing a 4X game, because that's where you make your most interesting decisions, is when you don't know what the next set of moves should be. I think I'm going to assign this guy to Fez to try to fabricate scandals here, to try to get control of Fez. It'd be nice if we could do that. I should probably do the same in Mitla. So intelligence agency is finished. I think we would love to get the chancery. That's 6 gold and 3 science. We're going to grab a Mani. However, her job is to just be a governor stick, provide buffs. And the city that I want the buffs in the most right now is probably Quirigga. So we'll plop her down in there. She'll do her duty, make us proud, delete that farm, replace it with coal. What are you doing? You're getting into position to pop down another one of these. Oh my god, we just tripled the city's production, by the way, over the last couple turns. So I'd say these cities are starting to look pretty high quality. I do need another builder over here to Zunatunic. Chop here. Go ahead and 1-turn me a trader. Ooh, enemy caravel. Yeesh. That's okay. I built an excess of caravels because I'm okay with some of them dying. All right, +3 era score for getting the first industrial zone with adjacency of 4 of higher. Really nice. Also, siege tactics has been finished as a technology. The best thing I can do with you is to retreat you towards known safe waters where you can go find a safe place to retreat. We're probably not going to research scientific theory. We're probably not going to go for ballistics. Killing a unit with a knight might still happen. I definitely need to think carefully about how I'm going to get to chemistry. And I think we just beeline it. I think that's the play. We could stop off for line infantry, which would boost replaceable parts, which would be technically faster overall. But I think just beelining chemistry is the play. To get here, quote unquote, faster in terms of total science spent requires quite a bit of backtracking in the tech tree. But I think if we just rush research labs, we can severely jump up the tech status. So we're still recruiting industrial era great scientists. We really want Albert Einstein. This city is going to start working industrial zone logistics purely so that we can get access to Leonardo da Vinci. We have double charge Leonardo potential this game. We're also going to start selling off all of our resources to try and get as much cash as possible, because we want to buy all the buildings in our industrial zone to the south. And if we can buy all the buildings in the industrial zone to the south, it will allow us to take over the game in production and also give us extra great engineer points. So we want the factory. The factory is a really unique and powerful building because it gives 3 production to all cities within 6 tiles that do not already have a bonus from a factory. And if you power it with a coal power plant, it will double that bonus. So it'll actually be 6 production. Now, if you kind of compare that to like a mine, that's like 4 production. So it's like a mine and a half, or like a slightly better plains mine. So effectively, every city within a certain range of this industrial zone gets +1 population. That's the way I like to think about it, which makes these really valuable to get a few of them. So that's the factory taken care of. We would like to scale up with the coal power plant because that will give this city 4 production as well as access to power. Which will help us when we get to the research lab end of things, which provides +5 science when powered, which is really nice. But if you check the power map mode, it's next turn that'll show actually. Now in Zunatunic, this city needs help, so I'm going to trade with Koba, 4 food, 3 production. That's a fantastic deal. Plus it gives me an internal trade route road. Oh no, you're going that way. That's fine. So let's get started on that shipyard because that'll allow you to stand on your own 2 feet. We've got 1 more chop in the city. We've almost got the niter stockpiled for the war declaration. Get another one of these. May as well go get that fishing tile online. Let's get an extra coal. So 2 sources of coal is usually enough to power your empire until you get oil. And we do have a huge oil potential because we have a massive desert as well as a massive snow area. So we may have to settle a couple like snow cities, but that should be totally manageable. Totally manageable. We did find another city-state, opera and ballet with Vilnius. Vilnius is great if you have allies. I will go industrial zone in this city. Thank you very much. Seems like the appropriate thing to do. The Renaissance era ends in 10 turns. We could maybe squeeze out a golden age. I don't care that much about a golden age from this era. I do have the cash flow now to come in here and buy a coal power plant. Boosh. So every city inside this power zone is getting +6 production, which is honestly only 3 cities right now for me, which it's a pretty low value industrial zone, but it is 6 production, right? It's not bad. It's not terrible. So let's come down here and run an industrial zone logistics. Maybe with a couple of logistic pumps, we could get Leonardo. The rest of my gold is now going to be stocked for my military misadventure that we're planning up here. Alrighty. Definitely want this tile. Can't afford it right now, so we'll have to buy it later. So we were doing internal trade routes. I'm going to start looking for externals. What is my best external trade route? Let's have a look at the cash flow. Looks like it's Wak Nabal to Hagmatana. Probably should get another skirmisher to go scout his territory now that we have open borders, because we could probably find better trade deals, but I'll take the trade deal that's on the table right now. Okay. I want to put envoys into Fez. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to put them in. Don't care. +1 science in every city that has a library. We will take the trade with Hagmatana because it's 17 gold per turn as it currently stands. You to there, you to there. Man at arms into the water so you could swoop around and get into position. We need 40 niter, so we're a couple turns away. I'll buy this tile so you can lumber mill it. And now I've got all 3 of my potential bombards outside the city of Caguana. They'll be able to do serious work. We are facing off against a man-at-arms corps, but we should have a musketman, which should be able to fight toe-to-toe. I guess I could technically get a man-at-arms and research. No, it's too far away tech-wise. All right, let's kill that crossbowman here. Perfect. There's military science boosted, which is what we were looking for. Kill the unit with a knight. Renaissance era. Gilgamesh would like to buy iron, I think. I'll take that deal. Any horse buyers? I don't want to sell niter. I'm willing to sell coal because I'm not spending much coal. Yep. And yep. Then I would like to purchase maybe a portrait. So this is Kamal Al-Dun Bazad. I'll take that. How about a landscape? No, I don't want it to be from the same artist. Ooh, Michelangelo and Hieronymus Bosch. The reason you don't want them to be from the same artist is because if they're from the same artist, they don't produce their full 3 culture, a little bit of tourism. We don't care about the tourism, we care about the culture. If you have a great work from the same artist in the same art museum, the first one produces the full culture of 3, but the second one produces a culture of 1. So you never want to put your great works all in the same city, from the same artist at least. Okay, so capital city has finished basically all of its base level infrastructure. We can now start to look into some options for the late game. We could go for an industrial zone of the city as well, there are a couple of like reasonable spots for that right there. We could, and I mean, it's not a bad move. It would push us in the direction of potentially more Leonardo, but also the late game great engineers are actually very useful for us, right? Space race production, space race boosts, space race boosts. So I think an industrial zone is a reasonable thing to do in the capital. The alternative would be building settlers to settle, and I just don't feel like settling cities this game. I think playing Maya, let's stick to our fairly tall build. Now, I mean, like, these 4 cities are doing the carrying, right? Like, I mean, if you look at this city, it's like 10 science, okay, 5 science, 3 science, 3 culture, like 1 science, 3 culture, 2 science, 3 culture. The vast majority of my culture and science is coming from these 4 core cities. So technically speaking, it's a 4-city empire. However, a lot of gold is coming from these other cities to feed those. And they have a trickle of science to come into. So there is a reason to build them. There is. Yeah, farms are going to be a reality here. Hill farms. This will feed the city. It'll be fantastic. Okay, you're established in Tbilisi. See if you can't steal a tech boost. May as well get some value out of my spies. I miss the days when spies were just like automatic gold printers. I mean, I know it kind of imbalanced the game a little bit, but it was really fun. Civil engineering is completed, so we definitely need to drop Republican Legacy. We're going to plug in the retinues card to make units cheaper. We're also going to plug in the professional army card to make units cheaper. We're going to plug in public works. Well, we don't really need builders at the moment, so we're going to leave that out. And I guess we can plug in natural philosophy. Boosh. So now we can come over here. Trebuchet, cheap. 85 gold, 10 niter each. I'll get you guys to swap. You'll become a musketman and you'll become a trebuchet next turn. And then we're in a position to declare war on Caguana and take that city. Do I even bother? I think I do. It's a good enough city to take over. Copan finished industrial zone logistics. We're now still potentially in the running for Leonardo. So we're going to keep pushing that angle. I have a governor title spare. I'm going to take grants so that I just get extra great people points in my capital. My capital has a few districts actually. So there's like 3 great scientist points, 3 great artistry points. Potentially once we finish the industrial zone, there'll be some great engineer points coming too. So generally just not a bad move there on that part. We finished the lighthouse in Quirigua. Let's grab the shipyard. The great admiral points are kind of useless. It's the only downside of playing a coastal game. It's why I would maybe like to play a land game in a maybe my next game will be a land game. We'll see. It's been a while since I've done a full land game. I love playing coastal games because like building up the coastal infrastructure is really fun, really satisfying. But at the same time, having to play with great admirals is like a bit of a sacrifice to the quality of your empire. +3 era score for being the first person to consume a power resource. There's scientific theory. We did just finish the plantation. Someone else just built the Oxford University. So +1 food from plantations is nice because we have a few of those. University of St. Cor is gone. Oxford University is gone. We got the first power resource. We're like so close to a golden age. We can maybe make it happen. Let me think. What can I do? I could buy a great person. Faith by Leonardo. Boosh, that's +1 era score. Could gold by Santa Cruz. That'll be +1 era score. Then I just need to find another era score somewhere. Let's have a look at the era tracker. Oh, I've never built a horse unit. Well, that's easy. Just come into the capital, start a courser, boom. Mission accomplished. So yeah, all we need to do is to get Santa Cruz next turn, build a horse, and we got a golden age secured. Very low effort golden age. I don't particularly care about this golden age, but I'm going to take a low effort golden age if it's on. Oh man, a Forbidden City, 5 culture and a wildcard policy slot. That's a really hard turn up to, or a really hard thing to turn down is what I was trying to say. So I think we're going to go for the Forbidden City. I'll let this industrial zone logistics finish. Not that we care as much. University finished in Calic Mull, giving us an extra 8 science, as well as a great scientist point per turn. I think the obvious move now is to go for shipyards. Now, don't forget, I could go for theatre squares, right? And I would get like +1 culture, and then another +2 for the amphitheatre, and then a +2 from the thingy. Or I could build an industrial zone, get 6 culture because of Leonardo, and a whole bunch of production. So the industrial zone becomes a very, very attractive thing. Even if you don't have much adjacency, just getting like a industrial zone plus a workshop is great. Now, the problem I'm having in this city is it's having a little bit of a hard time to get fed. Why is it tough to feed? Just not a whole lot of food in here. What if I focused on food? Yeah, well, it doesn't make huge differences. So the shipyard would help a little bit. The food is a problem. Food's a problem in here. We also have to start thinking about amenities as a big problem, and theatre squares are cheaper. Building a theatre square is worth an amenity. Building an arena is worth 3 amenities. That's basically a luxury crammed into a single city. We'll have to make a decision on that. I think the play is to go entertainment complex. Now, I'll go industrial zone. It's worth a lot of culture. It's worth so much culture. I went back and forth on that decision a few times. But that's kind of how you go back and forth. You know, you're like, what feels right to me? And industrial zone for the culture feels right, considering my culture is so low compared to my science. All right, going to step you forward. You move forward. You upgrade to a bombard. We're ready to declare war on Caguana next turn, I believe. So that's what we will be doing. Yo, that's a lot of bad guys. No tech to steal. Damn, that feels bad. I suppose you can go to Mitla and start fixing their elections. Renaissance era ends in 5 turns. Let's quickly buy Santa Cruz. Golden Age secured. We've also got Leonardo here. Now, because we have the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, right, this allows you to add an extra build charge to your Great Engineers. If I come down here and I show you the Mausoleum, Great Engineers have an additional charge. That's a fantastic bonus. Now, it's especially fantastic when you're playing a Leonardo da Vinci, because Da Vinci gives you +3 culture from your workshops. So you get that benefit twice. You now get +6 culture from your workshops. And to put that in comparison to a theatre square, I'm getting 3 culture from the theatre square, 4 from the amphitheatre, 4 from the art museum, right? So that's what? 9 culture? 11 culture plus a few great works. That's another 13. So I'm getting 24 culture in total from this theatre square. But think, I had to buy these great works. I had to earn them. All I had to do for this guy is click this twice, and these buildings provide production, as well as critical great engineer points. And we don't care about tourism, which is like a cost built into these great works. So it's a really efficient way to get that little bit of culture you need in a science game, is to get Leonardo plus Mausoleum. It's one of my favorite combos in the entire game. Let's grab the lighthouse in the city. Actually, it's about time we got the observatory. There's no point in delaying that anymore. We need those great scientist points so that we can stay competitive. We're still, I would say we are now competitive, but now we want to become the dominant player. Mapuche is still 4 great scientist points ahead of us, so we need to pump up a little bit more. Okay, let's declare war on Caguana. This will hurt my relationship with other AIs, but it'll take me a few turns to kill them. We can severely, people are going to be upset with me. But I think this is the right move in the long term for my civilization. Let's focus on food and production so we can work these lovely hills to grow the city, and then otherwise keep the city going. Scythia always gets annoyed at you if you declare war on city-states and stuff like that. 63% chance to take 16 turns to fabricate a scandal. I think it's worth doing. Nice, you found Mount Roraima. There was the +1 era score, +3 era score that we needed there. Beautiful. Renaissance era ends in 4 turns. We blast Caguana. Now, we want to wait until we can renew all of our alliances before we actually take out the city of Caguana. I'm going to play a little bit slower than you would maybe expect. We'll grab the workshop in here. I may as well one turn a watermill. And then we'll grab the workshop. The workshop is a nice +3 production, +3 culture. Don't forget that's a ton of culture, especially now when I click this button. Boosh. And that workshop is worth 6 culture now. For some reason, it didn't update. Why is that? Do I have to force a UI update by moving a citizen? There you go. +6 culture. Isn't that beautiful? One of my favorite combos in the game. Oh yeah, I built a courser as well. Although this guy can be used to explore, just like the scout can be. Fishing tile is outside of the range of my city. There's a couple of fishing tiles down here that we'd like a builder for. I don't have the builder card plugged in, so I'll preserve those. Definitely could use a couple of builders. Ooh, spicy. The hell out of there. Chancery completed in Koba, giving us a nice 6 gold, 3 science, and 3 influence points per turn. We're now up to a very healthy 12 influence per turn. I think if I look at the city, we have our observatory, we have the government plaza, we have the diplomatic quarter, we've placed an encampment. I think a very obvious move could be to go, actually, there's a +5 industrial zone here, which is fantastic. We just need to get to the workshop. That is great. All right, let's level up these bombards a little bit. We may as well. And you're doing some good exploration. I think it would be fun if being allies with Persia meant I got access to a paradisa or 2. It'd be kind of a cool idea. Sharing resources between your allies. Blast, blast, blast. These guys are ready to level, which is excellent. Let's go for natural history. We want the zoo. We also would like the envoys. So natural history feels like a very reasonable move here. It would have been nice to build the archaeological museum to boost it, but the benefit of the zoo is fantastic. It gives you AoE amenities, so +1 amenity to all cities within 6 tiles. Similarly, the aquarium is super nice. We will be planning to build a couple of water parks, mostly for amenities, to keep our amenities high. We really need to play on that. Honestly, it's part of what's making us do so well in this game. Now, this is a really dangerous moment. So let me explain what's going on here. James Young is up for grabs. Oh, wait. This happened before we went to the next era. James Young, oh, feck. Okay, I'm going to pass on James Young. Someone else is going to take him. And now I have to take Dmitry Mendeleev, which I really don't want to do. I'm just going to shift enter, end my turn, because I really don't want to take him. I'm going to see if someone else can take him. I'd like to start building up relationships with the industrial era, or industrial city-states, but I really need to get control of Fez. And my spies are working to try to fight for suzerainty, but they'll probably get captured and killed, which is kind of the fate of spies you send on those kind of missions. Another embassy from this guy, that'll get me another little bit of diplomatic favor, which is really nice. Renaissance era has gone. Let's trade with Johannesburg. That's worth an envoy. Envoys are almost always worth it to get for a trade route, in my opinion, especially if the trade route itself is relatively productive. So we got a reward. Gilgamesh wants to buy my iron. Gilgamesh, you are always welcome to buy my iron. I've got a trading post in Hagmatana, which could theoretically open up new trading ventures. Dmitry Mendeleev was recruited by another player. I really don't want to recruit Alan Turing, but if I want Albert Einstein, I might have to start pumping science right now to get him. I might need to do that right now. And the reason is pretty complicated to explain, but basically when we go into the next era and we recruit Alan Turing, we'll be going into the industrial era. And when we go into the industrial era, the price of these great people will go down. So if I just sit here and I wait for Alan Turing to pop, and then I either claim him, if I claim him, now my scientific bar reverts to 0. Okay, and then I have to fight for what could be Albert Einstein. It might be Alfred Nobel. You never know. Or I could pass on him. And if I pass on him and nobody else is close to recruiting him, what will happen is eventually someone will claim him. And in the turn transition, after they claim him, the price of the great scientists will come down. And if it rolls Albert Einstein, before I even get to take a turn, somebody will take him. So it's going to sound like madness. But the actual best move for me right now, if I want to guarantee Albert Einstein, is to go to every productive city in my empire and tell them to start doing campus research grants, which to me tells me it's not worth it to try and secure Albert Einstein to that level because he's only worth 4 science per city. That's a lot of science, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot of science. Hopefully that explains the rationale of like why I'm doing the decisions that I'm going to do. That I'm not going to try to fight for Alfred. If this was Albert Einstein right now, I would just immediately switch because it would be worth it. But it's not worth it to push through like 2 to 3 great scientists on a chance to get Albert Einstein. Do you get me? If it was a guarantee, it would be worth it. But the fact that it's not guaranteed makes that decision matrix a little bit nebulous. Brilliant. There's economics, which is one of the steps towards glorious chemistry, which will be another set of great scientist points passively, as well as a huge amount of science for us. We are at a golden age, and I think Heartbeat of Steam is just a great golden age for us here. I mean, Hicks and Dracones, we're not really settling, so we don't care about that. That's all about +3 starting population for cities settled on a different continent. Who cares? Reform the coinage. I mean, we do have some pretty good international trade routes. 2 arms. We don't plan to go to war. Heartbeat of Steam. 10% production towards industrial era and later wonders. Campus district. Science adjacency bonus provides production as well. Just super, super worth it for us here. I'm going to switch out retinues. I'm going to switch out professional army. We'll switch in retainers, and we're also going to temporarily switch in public works because we want just like to purchase like maybe 3 builders to continue to develop our territory. Best trade route in my empire for gold is Palenque to Hagmatana. So relocate trader to Palenque and repeat as needed. Right, Caguana Blast, Caguana Blast, Caguana Blast. Minor defeat, but city captured. Ooh, I was meant to do that next turn. Oops. I'm gonna reload because that was just like a decision fail. I was like, oh yeah, I need to do that next turn, not this turn. I did it 1 turn too early. I consider that on the same level as a misclick. So I don't mind reloading for a misclick. Copium. Basically all the decisions are essentially the same. I just need to like not mess up is all. We can farm a little bit of experience out of this again. Just don't attack this turn. The reason why we don't want to attack this turn is because we would like to renew all of our alliances. And if we kill this city-state, getting a whole bunch of negative grievances, people won't want to sign alliances with us. So by timing our attack for when we just renew all the alliances, we'll be able to avoid getting denounced and getting caught in a denounce cycle, and we'll be able to retain our alliances. And while we're in our alliance, the grievances will drain away anyway. So for all those reasons, it just really benefits us just to sit here and chill for a turn. 1 and a 2. All right, let's renew our friendships. I'm going to wait one more turn, like I said, because I want to get my alliance with Basil renewed. We got the workshop and Copan. I don't need the factory. These are like value districts. We don't need the other stuff. So what's really going to help me win this game? That's a question I have to ask myself as I look at the city. 9 gold per turn, that'll help a little bit. So I'm going to grab that 9 gold per turn. That's going to be a few hundred gold by the end of the game. Okay, let's declare all of our friendships. Alliance, sure. Wait, no, I want an economic alliance with Nader Shah. Economic alliance, boom. I want a military alliance with Gilgamesh if I can get it. Yeah, perfect. I want a religious alliance with you. Well, maybe these are the only 2 that matter. Yeah, we're declared friends, so they can't even denounce me. So that's good enough for me. And it also gives me more people to potentially spy on. All right, blast Caguana, step forward, take that city. So we took it 2 turns later, and we're going to get 100 grievances with all major powers. However, those 100 grievances, if I check here, oh, nobody cares. Oh, he cared at like half level, and they go away at a rate of 6 per turn anyway. She cared. Perfect. Nobody cared that much. All right, we got a free city out of that. Literally couldn't have asked for a better outcome. So in Caguana, we're going to immediately buy this tile, and slap down. Well, we don't want to do that yet. We're going to spend a little bit of time repairing, because what we should really do is buy builders to send. Oh, I don't have the builder card plugged in. Fuck. Oh, sweet Jesus Christ. I just wasted so much money. Amenities are down, by the way. So we need to go do our luxury deals. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Yoink. Back to maximum amenities, sell off all of our spares, and skadoosh. Let's see if we can sell some strategics, horses, iron, niter. There are niter buyers out there. What about coal? Any coal purchasers? There are coal purchasers. We never want to sell off our whole stock of coal though. And then don't want to sell my great works. Any diplo buyers? Sure, you can have all my diplo favor. Perfect. Make it 300 gold per turn. Let's get open borders with this guy before he denounces me. He can't denounce me. Haha, we are friends. You cannot denounce your friends. A beautiful loophole. This scout somehow managed to get himself killed even though he wasn't on autopilot, which is just, I love that. I love it. It's beautiful. The thing of beauty. +1 era score, fantastic. There's replaceable parts. Replaceable parts gives our farmers +1 food adjacency for every farm they're adjacent to instead of 1 per 2 farms. And pastures also get +1 production, which is a really nice outcome. The food market is also quite a nice bonus for some of these cities that are struggling with food. But it means this little farm diamond over here that's feeding the city of Zunatunik is actually fantastic. That's a total of what? 4, 10, 14 food, which 14 food can support 7 population easily. Easily support. Wait, did I miscount? Yeah, so it's what? 21 food. So it's 14 food from these tiles, plus 2 from the capital itself, plus 1 from the niter. So it's 17 base food. There's a little bit of extra food coming from somewhere. I'm not sure where. Anyway, my point is, this city just has a lot more food now because I built that little farm. Industrial zone completed here. Let's get the workshop. That's worth 3 production and 6 culture. It's a fantastic decision. And now we can just put this army dormant. And the nice thing about this army is it got us an extra city. It got us a little bit of era score. And more importantly, it is now existing military strength, which will discourage other players from attacking us, especially as their military strength is lower than ours. And we have a military ally in the form of Gilgamesh. So we've basically like sealed this game up for ourselves. We're up to about 250 science per turn, 130 culture per turn, which puts us, I would say, top 3 culture in this game. We're number 1 science. We aren't quite top science yet because they've been earning more science than us for quite a while, so we still need to catch up in terms of text researched. But I feel like we've navigated our way through this tech tree incredibly efficiently, and we're literally about to hit chemistry where our science will begin to pop off. So in the next episode, if we can secure Forbidden City and research labs, our science, we could probably hit like the maybe 400, 500 mark by the end of the next episode. And then if we can get our culture up, start looking at maybe democracy and stuff like that, we could start to do some insane stuff. But I'm going to call that the end of the episode. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.